What is up, guys? Dzeeff here, and yesterday was pretty crazy because some content creators, myself included, got to open early boxes of Brothers of Legend, which is kind of the sequel to Battles of Legend that we've seen in the past. And Brothers of Legend, oh man, this set is crazy. Really good OCG imports and really good TCG reprints make this set very appealing to pretty much any type of player. And I think Konami has been doing quite well with the last few sets here. The first half of 2021 was kind of awkward. We had some weaker core sets, we had some pretty lackluster side sets, but the last few sets here have been very good. So we had Legendary Duelist Synchro Storm, obviously that set had a number of competitive cards in it. Then we had Burst of Destiny 1 week after that, and Burst of Destiny is changing the meta in all sorts of different ways. And then this week we have Maximum Gold Eldorado. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have an opening of that set on the channel. And then a few weeks from now, we have Brothers of Legend. So Konami has done a great job at finishing out 2021 on a high note, and for that, I'm pretty happy. In today's video, I'm going to go over the full set list for Brothers of Legend and kind of give my opinions on the highlights in this release. These images, by the way, are taken from Dual Daddy on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, I believe. He posts a lot of really great content like this. Make sure to go check him out if you haven't already. So here we go. Brothers of Legend releases on December 1st for OTS stores, and it'll be $4.99 a pack. Each pack has a few ultras and one secret rare in there. So if you've opened up a Battles of Legend set in the past, it's pretty much the exact same thing. And this time around, it's kind of Karibo based. Karibos are obviously on the pack artwork, but yeah, there's a lot of Karibo support in here. But the set is so much more than just a casual Karibo set. There's a ton of high impact competitive stuff in here that I did want to talk about in today's video. By the way, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post daily Yu-Gi-Oh videos throughout the week. So anyway, here is the first page, and you can see here Dual Daddy is always great about his rarities. So the ones that are marked SCR are secret rares, and the ones that are not marked are ultra rares, because the ultra rares are kind of like the commons in this set because you always pull a bunch of them. And also there are two different Starlight Rare type cards in the set. One of them is the Astral Language number 17 Leviathan Dragon. The other one is a Starlight Rare Dragoon, which is obviously going to be a big fan favorite in the community. I'm sure that card will be quite expensive. But on this first page, we have a number of good cards. The one I'm going to highlight first, though, and I do actually have one right here because I did pull it in my video, is Altergeist Pukari. You guys probably saw my reaction to pulling this card in my pack opening video, and I was quite excited. I mentioned this yesterday as well, but when I saw that Maximum Gold Eldorado had a bunch of older Altergeist reprints in it, I was pretty sure that Pukari would be in Brothers of Legend, and when I pulled it, I was just so excited. Altergeist Pukari is a fantastic monster, and this is getting released in the TCG almost 2 years after its initial OCG announcement. So we have been waiting for this card for basically 2 years here, and I couldn't be happier with it. I'll probably have a video, well no, I'll definitely have an Altergeist deck profile once this card is released, and I will go over some of the basic plays with the card in that video as well. I will say here that the card is a bit worse now that Link Cross is banned. One of the old combos was that you would make Hextia turn 1 and then turn it into Link Cross to add Multifaker to your hand, and if you already had Multifaker, you could then add just like a manifestation to revive the Hextia and trigger the Multifaker. You can't do that anymore because we don't have Link Cross, which Link Cross got banned for other reasons, not because of Altergeist, of course, but I think it is worth mentioning that the card isn't going to be as impactful now as it would have been if Link Cross was still legal. That being said, summoning Hextia turn 1 is still great, and you can do a lot of cool things with Pukari that I'll talk about once I finally get a hold of 3 copies to do a deck profile with them. As far as the other cards on this first page, I think people are pretty happy about the Appliancer Link monster. I know there are some Appliancer fans out there. We also have the Karibo support, of course, which could be fun on a casual level, although it probably won't be very good at a competitive level. The current power level of the format is very high, so I don't think that Karibos are going to be able to compete, but I might be wrong. I know they do have some pretty crazy combos if you open up perfectly, but realistically, don't expect this deck to be at any big competitions. Also, we have that new Wing card that draws 2 in Winged Beast decks. Lyrilisks are already doing quite well, and this is just a another piece of support for them. Will they play the card? I mean, maybe, probably. It's hard to say because it does require a bit of setup. It is not a starter draw 2 card, and historically speaking, when draw 2 cards require you to already have your engine going, they're a little bit worse than cards that you can just activate immediately. We also have the Utopia stuff in here, and I know people aren't the happiest about that. That's probably the only complaint I've seen about Brothers of Legend. People wanted those cards in a real structure deck. I don't know why Konami really likes breaking down OCG structure decks and then putting them into side sets in the TCG, but they keep doing that, and once again, that's what happened here. Besides that, we have that new map card. Everyone loves that. I mean, that can search a 0 attack monster. There are some pretty interesting search targets with that card. I talked about that a long time ago, but it might actually see some competitive play. That is a card to keep in mind. Let's move on to the second page, though, and take a look at what we got. So on this page, we have all of the reprints and a couple OCG imports that didn't fit on the previous page, but there are some big reprints in this set. We have, of course, the cards that we thought were going to be in Legendary Duelist Season 3, which at this point is unannounced. We have Magician Souls, we have a Dusted Gold, we have Malicious Bane. Those reprints basically sell the set themselves. Those are so good. I mean, people have been asking for those cards forever, basically ever since they were released, and they were very expensive on release, but they've even gone up in price since then. So these are big reprints. They're unexpected reprints as well. Magician Souls looks really good as a secret rare, as do the Evil Hero cards, but man, that secret rare Magician Souls I think does look better than the original Ultra. We also have cards like Godarla, which at this point doesn't have a holographic reprint, so this will be its first holographic reprint. We also have number 89, the Mind Hacker, which previously was only a prize card from YCS's. A lot of the Battles of Legend sets reprinted prize cards in them, so that's pretty cool to see. We have some Infernoid reprints, which are pretty welcome actually. Void Feast never had a holographic print, despite being one of the most powerful cards in the deck, especially when you can go first. And then we have a Decatron and a Terra reprint as well. There's also a Nibiru reprint in here. Now it is secret rare. It's not prismatic secret rare like the original print, but that's really cool to see. You know, that card got reprinted in last year's Maximum Gold, but it was still pretty expensive. I think right now it's like around $20, or at least it was before this announcement. But that's nice because people really need Nibiru in the current competitive format. It's one of those cards like Ash Blossom where it's just good to have a playset just in case it's good in a format. You know, it's not going to be good in every format, but right now it is quite good and a lot of people are playing it. So if you don't have your copy, now you might have a cheaper version to pick up. I don't know if this version will be cheaper than the gold rare version, but I'm sure one of them will be fairly budget friendly. We also have some pretty cool cards like Insector Exabeetle and Downward Magician. Those cards are fairly old at this point, which does make me feel old to say, but Insector Exabeetle never had any reprints, so that's very nice. And Downward Magician, while it did have a few reprints, that card has not been reprinted in a long time, and all of its prints were fairly expensive for what it is. It's basically only played as a fourth material for Zeus, so I'm really glad to see a more affordable copy. The Relinquished Anima reprint in here is not only good because it rarity bumps it to secret rare, but also, before this announcement, this card, the older Ultra Rare, was selling for like $15. So this is going to make that version pretty much crash in price. I believe right now it's at like $3 or $4, which is a pretty big discount. So that is a very good rarity upgrade there. That also makes the other copy a lot more affordable. Finally, of course, I'll mention Forbidden Droplet. This was the big reprint that Konami announced when they revealed the Brothers of Legend set a while back. And yeah, it seems like it's pretty hard to pull. It is a secret rare in the set, not an ultra rare. And I watched a few openings and it seems like people weren't really pulling this card. I saw some people debating if Droplet and Magician Souls were the only short printed cards in the set. At this point, we don't really have enough boxes to go off of to truly figure out which cards are short printed. Keep in mind, you will not pull every secret rare in one box, so don't watch one box opening and go, oh, they didn't pull this card, it must be a short printed. You really have to look at not only one case, but you have to look at a lot of cases to truly figure out the average. It wouldn't necessarily surprise me, but I'm not going to make any judgments until people start opening cases. That being said, the Forbidden Droplet reprint is going to be a big deal. As I've mentioned in many deck profiles, I actually don't own this card anymore. I sold my playset a while ago and I never bothered to pick up another playset, but I will probably pick up this version of the card. It's not going to be like dirt cheap like maybe some people wanted it to be. It is a secret rare. It still seems like it's pretty hard to pull, but certainly it will be less expensive than the current secret rare that we have right now, because as a lot of you probably know, we only have a secret rare from Rise of the Duelist, and we have the ultimate rare from OTS 16. So those are two very expensive prints. This one is bound to be less expensive than either of those, which will be pretty nice. Even if it's still like a $70 secret rare, that is a lot better than $130 for the current Rise of the Duelist secret rare. So Forbidden Droplet, without a doubt, will be less expensive than it was before this reprint, but at this point we don't know how low the price will actually be. I'm hoping for the best because I know a lot of players really want this card, but let's try to remain not too optimistic because it might still be fairly expensive and out of the price range of many budget players. I'm hoping for another reprint of this card in 2022. I know a lot of players would be very excited to see that, and maybe that time they won't make it so hard to pull. Anyway, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, the graphics in today's video are from Dual Daddy. Make sure to go check him out on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. He posts these pretty much every time a new set is revealed, and he does a great job. His graphics show you all of the information that you want to know very clearly, and that's why I personally like shouting him out. He does a fantastic job with these breakdowns. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Let me know in the comments what you think about Brothers of Legend. Personally, I think the set is great, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. I'll see you later. Goodbye.